We're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to take your calls in just a matter of minutes. But first, Pat, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show.
It's great to be here, Ken.
First time having you on. Now, I've interviewed you many times for the EntreLeadership podcast, which I got to host for several years here. But this is the first time having you, first of all, in studio in Nashville. So I'm very excited because this is a very freeing moment for you. Tell folks why you feel so free.
Well, because I left California, for one, because they're just letting us leave.
Right.
This is my first trip in a long time.
Yeah.
We've been working in our office and doing all that stuff, but it's just great to be here to talk about whatever. I love this idea that we're going to get to just follow our nose and listen to what people have to say and answer questions, and we just love helping people find more meaning in their work.
It's true. So we've got a couple things I want to talk about briefly. Then I want to get to the calls and the social media questions. First is the new book, which really does affect our audience. Those of you who are aiming for management leadership roles, you're in one and you feel like, okay, Ken, maybe I've hit a lid. I want to move up. This new book, The Motive Why So Many Leaders Abdicate Their Most Important Responsibilities, is illuminating for those folks, but also the folks that call my show every day, Pat, that they're in a situation where they just got poor leadership above them.
Yeah, and this book, I should have wrote this one first. So I think this is my 12th book.
Yeah.
And what I realized is that I give people advice about how to be a better leader.
Yeah.
But if they don't have the right reason for being a leader in the first place, if they're not doing it for the right reason, none of my advice is going to make any sense.
That's
and
right.
I finally figured that out, that some people rejected it. And frankly, there's two reasons to be a leader, the one good one and one not good one. One is because you're reward centered. You think like this, I'm a leader and this is the reward of a lifetime of hard work. I get to do what I want. I get to say what I want. And that's about you.
Yeah.
The other one is service. It's responsibility centered. It's I'm a servant to others and I'm a leader because it's for their best interest.
That's right.
Well, if that's not right, if you're doing it for yourself, none of the things I say to people you're going to want to do. You're going to be like, I don't like doing that.
That's right.
It's actually kind of sacrificial. It's not very fun.
That's right.
And to be a leader means you have to do the hardest stuff first.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that leaders don't like to do, and they abdicate that or they delegate it. And there's certain things that only the leader can do, and if they're not willing to do it, it's going to be hard on that organization and the people that work there.
Yeah, it's really true. And so the idea here is it's almost, this book is kind of saying, hey, check yourself here. Because if you're thinking that I get into a leadership role and all of a sudden here comes the harvest of all the things I've been kind of planting and doing, and here's the reward, which is what you said, it's the bad reason, all of a sudden you realize the reward didn't do anything for you because you're going to be all day, every day confronting opportunities where you need to serve. And if you don't like to serve and you're no good at serving, you're going to be a miserable failure, and you will also be miserable.
Yes, and most importantly, you're going to drive the organization you lead into the ground.
That's right.
And it's kind of like, and I love to make comparisons to parenting. If you have children because you think it's supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be an accoutrement in your life and it's supposed to add to your experience of enjoying life every day, you're just not going to want to change diapers and read stories and do all the hard things you got to do. But if you go into it knowing I will give my life for this child, then you're going to actually be a good parent because that's your job. Now, there's ways to do that, ways not. But the point is, so many leaders, the younger generation thinks that being a CEO is because it's cool.
Completely.
I get power, money, attention. Yeah. It's mostly, though, because I get attention.
Yeah. Well, it feels like, hey, I've accomplished something. I'm at the top of the ladder.
Right.
Look at me. You're very proud of it.
And so it's not surprising that you see a lot of young high-tech leaders doing really selfish things in any industry, but high-tech is particularly like that. And it's like, because they're like, why would I sacrifice for others? You don't understand. I'm on top.
Yeah.
So that seems so obvious, but it's not to a lot of people that have been schooled in our society that says it's about you.
He is leadership and teamwork and personal growth and corporate culture guru, Pat Lencioni, longtime friend. Well, I thought I'd throw that at you.
My wife calls me the guru, but
yes. Well, isn't that hilarious? It's like I was telling somebody the other day. They were interviewing me on a podcast. They said, "What's it like to, you're doing this show every day and you're just guiding and adding value to people and then how do you keep fresh and how do you not let it get to your head?" I go, "It's called three teenagers."
Yeah.
When I go home, they're not impressed with anything.
Right.
And it's a whole different world. I'm trying not to be an abysmal failure half of the day.
Yeah. I mean,
it keeps you pretty humble.
Exactly. And rightly so. One of my sons is applying to college right now, and he wrote an essay, and he goes, they said, like, what do you want to do in your career? He goes, I'm thinking maybe business because I think my dad, some of the stuff he does actually helps people.
Right, just a little bit.
Wow, he's 18.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a great thing.
It's true. 844-747-2577. We got a few phone lines open. If you got a question about a leadership challenge that you are having in your role as a leader, or you're having a challenge in your situation with a leader, you feel like, hey, Ken, they've got a lid on me. I don't feel like they're being honest with me. I've got a toxic situation. This is the guy. Call in. We're going to get to the phone lines, 844-747-2577 in a little bit. All right, let's talk about this other tool you're developing, which I feel like, the special child that you gave me a little early access. I took an assessment. I'm a big fan, folks, as you know, of self-awareness. And you and the team have been working on what I believe is it's the best self-awareness tool in the workplace in your specific job/role at work. Tell us about it.
Getting things done.
Yeah.
So we didn't sit down to do an assessment. I was mildly dissatisfied in my job for the last 20 years. And we could never figure. Yeah, I was.
Shocking.
Now, I loved what I was doing, but I was grumpy a lot at work, and I didn't know why. And one day, my co-founder Amy, she and I was actually giving a presentation to a bunch of priests and their staff members, like a webinar, giving a speech online. And then afterward, I had to get the team that put on the event, and I had to give them some tough feedback. And then I said to Amy, hey, we got to do something for our podcast. We got to do this. We got to do this. And she said, why are you the way you are? And I said, I don't know, but I'd like to figure it out because half of it I love, half of it I don't like, and it's driving me crazy. Yeah. And that led to a 4-hour conversation. And the next thing I know, I was writing these circles on our whiteboard. One of our consultants saw the circles. And the next morning, he was with one of his CEOs who was frustrated and struggling, and he wrote the circles up there, and the CEO started crying and said, wow, that's my problem. Wow. And so over time, more people are like, wait, this makes sense. Yeah. So it was really trying to solve a problem for us that we realized there was something universal. And what we discovered, Ken, was there's these 6 different activities, areas of genius that are necessary to get anything done, whether it's launching a new company or running a department or managing your family or coming up with a new product, whatever it is, running this show takes 6 different kinds of genius. And God gives everybody 2 of those naturally. And 2 of them, we have none. We're terrible at. And 2 are kind of in the middle. If we don't know what those are, we can't love our jobs and we can't add to our teams. Yeah. And so since that time, I'd be working with an executive team and we'd have them do this assessment and we'd find out 2 of them were missing. Nobody on the team had 2 of the geniuses. And we'd go, do you guys have this problem and this problem? They go, oh, that's killing us. And it was a predictor of what their team success was. So whether you're an individual who wants to know what should I be doing in my job, or whether you're leading a team and you're like, how do I make sure we're covered in all the skills? This is an easy, fast, super practical way to figure that out.
It's really good. You know what I should have done, Damon, the brand leader? I should have had my results in here, and I could have.
I have your results
right here, right here
in my brain.
Do you really?
Yeah, somebody can bring them in, but I know what you're.
Well, just walk people through it because what I want them to do is get a sample. Because I took it and it was very effective. And I remember I got the printout. And Damon, the brand leader, folks, is back behind the glass. And I gave my results to Damon. And I let him read them almost minutes after I read them just to go, this is the dude who helps run everything I do. Yeah. He works in the trenches with me. He knows me as well as anybody but my wife. And so he got them. And I think he's bringing them in here. Go ahead and bring them in. You won't interrupt anybody. And he read them. He's like, oh, my gosh.
Right.
And I felt the same thing.
Right.
So here it is. Where are they? Okay, here we go. Here, you do your thing, and just briefly.
So what we have to understand is there's these 6 areas of genius. 2 of them are the areas that give you joy and energy. Yeah. You do them just because you can't help it.
Yeah, I call that work you really love, man. Exactly. A task. You just love the work.
You're naturally, it's a God-given talent, and if your job involved doing just those 2 things, you would go like, work is easy.
Yeah, a lot of juice.
And fun. And then there's 2, and I call that like a cup of coffee. You pour coffee into it and put a lid on it like this. Right. It's going to keep that heat, that energy for a long time.
Right.
There's 2, though, that if you took the lid off and you poured the coffee into it, but you didn't put a lid on it, it would hold it for a while. Yeah. But it would eventually dissipate. Right. Those are called your working competencies. You're good at them, but they don't give you joy. Yeah. There's 2 that you pour coffee in and there's a hole in the bottom of it and it just comes right out. It doesn't retain any joy, any energy, and you're usually not good at that.
Yeah, that's absolutely
So if you don't know what those are, it's a crapshoot.
Oh, man.
So here's your 2 working geniuses.
Okay.
Galvanizing is one of them.
Okay.
You love to get people motivated and moving.
Yeah. Sounds about right, doesn't it, folks?
I've known you a long time before you start doing this. You've always been like, I want to tell people, I want to see them moving. Right. I want to inspire people to act.
Yeah.
That's why this platform works for you. And that's why you come to work every day and going, I don't care if I talk to 2,000 people. If I can get them, if I can galvanize them, I'm a happy man. The other one is you have the gift of invention. The genius of invention is you like to come up with new ideas. You're always like, what else? What's a better mousetrap?
Yeah.
Now, those two things are fantastic in what you're doing right now, but there's going to be days when your wife says, hey, I don't need your inventing. I just need you helping on this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we're like, but I'm an inventor.
Right.
It's like, that's great, honey.
Right.
And my wife will go, I don't need your eye right now. I need one of the other geniuses.
Right. Or how about just listen? This is where this gets me in trouble. So she's telling me about stuff. We got 3 kids. We got 14, 12, and 11, right? And she's just talking. She just needs me to be hubs. And I'm trying to
solve
invent
the problem.
A solution. And she's like, would you shut up and just listen? Oh, yes, ma'am.
And that's one of your working frustrations is I have it too. It's called enablement. Enablement is people that just come alongside and say, whatever you need, I will provide it in the way you need it and on your terms. You let me know and I'll be there for you. It's a gift. It's a genius.
Right.
I don't have that because I'm immediately trying to invent a solution.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes that's great. My wife will come to me, I need your eye. I need your invention. And so other times she's like, can you put your eye away for a while?
Right.
So one of the other working competencies you have, which is very high for you, is discernment. And
I should hope so. These poor people are about ready to call in, and they call in every day. I hope I can do that.
And you love when people throw a bunch of information at you, and you get to sit back and go, what's going on here? Is there a pattern here? Have I seen this before?
Right.
And you use your intuition. You're not going like, okay, that problem, let me look this up in my book here, and there's the solution.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, Ken. There are people that if you said your job is going to involve galvanizing, invention, and discernment, they'd go, oh, gosh, I'm going to die.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're like, what do you mean? That sounds like the greatest job. Where if I said to you, your job is going to involve enablement and tenacity, finishing things and responding to people on their terms.
Yeah.
You would go, I'm going to die.
It's a bad day. It's a bad day. And bad for everybody else because of the detail side of things. I can't finish anything.
We had the people in my office do this, of course. We reorganized our whole office.
Yeah, of course.
Because we were like, I hate galvanize. I don't want to galvanize. Your genius is galvanizing. I can do it. I don't love it. I was galvanizing all the time.
Yeah.
And I was exhausted and frustrated.
Yeah.
And so I found out Cody on my team is great at galvanizing. We have elevated him. We hired a 22-year-old kid and found out he was a genius at galvanizing. And we said, you're going to kick these people's butt. He goes, wait, first of all, I just started. Secondly, they're 25 years older than me.
Right.
And those people said, it doesn't matter. You're gifted at this.
Now, that's beautiful right there. See, that's beautiful.
He loves his job.
Here's something that I love. And by the way, his co-founder, Amy's been a friend for a long time, too. Gee whiz, I think we've met way back in the day when I worked for John Maxwell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're in the 15 plus. I don't have time to figure it out.
I remember going to that steak restaurant in downtown Atlanta with you guys.
But Amy's question is what sparked all of this, folks. And this is what I want you to get. Okay, we're getting ready to go to the phones. Amy looks at you in this moment. She goes, why are you the way you are? Now, I don't know if you were frustrated as a matter, but that is a very clarifying question. And that's what we focus on all the time on the show. Why are you the way you are? And you've got to embrace that. This tool is going to help you. It's great. Let's tell folks real quick. When is it coming out? Is it out? Can
it's
they get
out
it?
Right now.
Where do they go get it?
If you go to workinggenius.com,
workinggenius.com.
And as you purchase it, or as purchase money is like, put in Coleman, capital letters, Coleman.
Oh, I love
and
this.
It's half off. So we priced it at $25, and people are like, hey, you're a corporate guy. Why don't you charge more? We're like, we want college kids to do this. Yeah. We want somebody who just started in their job to figure it out. We want somebody at home to do it around how their marriage works when you're getting stuff done. And if you put Coleman in, it's half off. So it's $12.50.
Folks, I am a man of the people, always will be. And so this is what you get. You get the 50% discount. Go get it. Workinggenius.com. Put the code word Coleman in. And for some of you who need to do this, get your answers and call me, and we will get you where you need to go to do this work.